You land, your sleep score says 7 hours, and you still lose the first hour of work. Not to exhaustion, to 12 tiny decisions you never closed. You find the elevator, you answer a transport message, you look for the charger, you reset the room. Then the phone lights up, and suddenly your attention is scattered across bags, messages, access codes, and someone else's priorities. You were not necessarily exhausted. You were divided.
And divided attention creates its own form of travel fatigue. The route changes, the driver updates the pickup point, a document needs uploading, and 3 unfinished decisions stay active in the background. That is the part people underestimate.
That is the hidden cost. Welcome to Nomad Life Success, episode 162. I'm Arya Reyes. Today, we're breaking down the data, systems, and biological protocols behind the landing buffer, dissecting the exact adjustments needed to optimize your cognitive output and protect your physical infrastructure on the road. My position is simple. After landing, protecting one bounded work block matters more than squeezing another productivity tactic into a compromised nervous system. This is not another nap, a double espresso, or a heroic inbox sprint. It is a 30-minute context switch firewall. 3 minutes to capture what is unresolved, 4 minutes to reset the body, 1 minute to lock the digital perimeter, and 22 minutes for one defined output. The reaction time checks happen outside that 30-minute buffer.
Before contact?
Before contact. That is the first firewall. Set a 3-minute timer and open one capture tool, not your inbox. Write down every unresolved arrival task in plain language. Confirm the room, locate the charger, check the next transport, upload the required document, respond to the person waiting on you, and decide when you will eat.
Put the deadline beside the task, too. For example, upload the visa appointment document by 6 p.m. is different from deal with travel paperwork. One has a boundary. The other keeps asking for attention because your brain cannot tell when it is finished.
Exactly. Then give each line one destination. Do now, schedule later, or delegate. Do not solve the tasks while you capture them. You are exporting them from working memory. A vague thought such as, I need to deal with the hotel, stays active. A defined task such as message reception about the replacement key by 6 p.m. has a finish line.
And this is where structure protects freedom. If the task can wait until tomorrow, say so. If it has a hard external deadline, identify the exact window. Banking without borders requires better systems, but so does simply moving through an unfamiliar city without making every small uncertainty feel urgent.
Once the list is out of your head, run the physical reset. 4 minutes. Water according to your needs and any medical guidance you follow. Use the bathroom. Walk lightly for a few minutes. Adjust the room temperature. Get appropriate light exposure if the timing and destination make that sensible. Then take a few quiet nasal breaths with a relaxed exhale. The sequence is deliberately boring.
Boring is portable.
Exactly. You are giving your body a consistent signal that transit has ended and the next decision is beginning. But do not turn this into a productivity dare. Are you dizzy, confused, nauseated, severely fatigued, or unsafe to work? If yes, stop. Recovery and safety outrank the calendar. A wearable score is not medical clearance.
I want to push on one phrase there. The next decision is beginning. A founder arrives after a missed connection, sleeps 4 hours, and calls a 22-minute work block discipline. That may be impaired judgment wearing a productivity costume.
Fair correction. I do not want anyone forcing executive output while impaired. But I also do not want recover to become an automatic excuse based on one bad feeling morning. That is why we use several signals and a personal baseline. The landing buffer is a decision system, not a demand to work. Now, before the trip, configure the travel device mode, silence promotional alerts, social applications, group chats, and routine notifications. Route only genuinely urgent contacts through. Block inbox access for the first 22 minutes, if your operating system allows it. The device should open to the arrival ledger and the first deliverable. If you wait until you are standing in the lobby, you will
negotiate with yourself. I will just check one message, right?
Right. One message becomes a scheduling question. The scheduling question becomes a document request. The document request opens a browser tab, and now the transition is gone. Pre-configuration is the difference between a system and a promise. The common operational mistake is opening the inbox first. Email is not evil. It is simply an uncontrolled queue of other people's priorities. Your first screen should show the output you selected before arrival. One decision memo, one code review, one financial model check, or one section of a client proposal. Define done in a single sentence, then start the 22-minute timer.
One output, not a list of intentions.
One output. Before the buffer, run a simple 2-minute reaction time test. After the buffer, run the same test again. It does not need to be a laboratory instrument. Keep the test consistent and compare it with your own baseline. If your post-block result worsens substantially, or you are correcting obvious errors, that is information. Data doesn't care about your jet lag, but data is not a medical clearance either. If you are dizzy, confused, ill, or unsafe, stop the test and recover.
And do not let one number become a verdict. HRV can be noisy. Reaction time can shift with caffeine, stress, device familiarity, or the testing environment. The trail is the truth, but one trail marker is not the whole route. Look across several arrivals.
Use 5 arrivals to establish a working baseline. Record your HRV trend relative to your normal range. 2-minute reaction time, perceived alertness from 1 to 10, task switch count during the buffer, first block completion, and the number of error corrections afterward. Add sleep duration and travel duration as context. The point is not to judge yourself. The point is to find the conditions that reliably degrade your output.
That also gives you a record when the problem is operational rather than biological. Maybe the sleep was fine, but the room access failed, the charger was missing, and a deadline document was buried in 3 applications.
Exactly. Your physical kit should remove those avoidable decisions. Use clearly labeled hydration containers. If you use supplements, keep them in a standardized, travel-safe system. Follow product instructions and clinician guidance. And do not introduce an unfamiliar compound on a high-stakes travel day. Add charging redundancy, a primary charger, a backup cable, and enough power to avoid hunting for outlets. Keep a ready-to-deploy workstation kit with your keyboard, adapter, headset, and the device that opens your first deliverable.
Small details, serious consequences. A missing cable can delay a document. A buried appointment reminder can create a deadline problem. Compliance is your competitive advantage because predictable systems reduce avoidable exposure.
Use a traffic light decision rule. Green means reaction time is near baseline, alertness is adequate, and you can complete a bounded task with low error risk. Do the work block. Yellow means one or more signals are meaningfully worse, but you are functional. Choose administrative work, review, or another low-consequence task. Red means severe fatigue, confusion, illness, dizziness, unsafe conditions, or a major performance drop. Stop forcing output and recover or seek appropriate help.
So green is not prove how tough you are. It is permission for one contained decision.
Correct. Yellow is useful work with lower consequences. Red is recovery. If you remember only one sequence, remember what happens before you touch email. Capture the open loops, reset the body, activate the low notification perimeter, and complete one bounded deliverable. Then measure what happened across 5 arrivals before you optimize anything else. Fix the physical bottlenecks first. On your next arrival, download the landing buffer checklist and record the baseline metrics before changing your routine. Reaction time, HRV trend, alertness, task switches, first block completion, and error corrections. If you need the physical foundation, build it at shop.nomadlifesuccess.com with labeled hydration and supplement containers, charging redundancy, and a ready-to-deploy workstation kit. That is your high-performance blueprint for today. Remember, treat your biology like business infrastructure. If your physical stack fails, the business stops. Minimize the friction and stay optimized.